Shakur case remains one of the most discussed and misunderstood events in music history. Decades later, people still debate what really happened and why no one was ever held legally responsible. One name continues to surface in these conversations: Sean "Diddy" Combs. But here's the critical detail most discussions ignore. Diddy was never charged, never named a suspect, and never formally accused by law enforcement in the Tupac case. Diddy and Tupac, from industry peers to public fallout. Before the rivalry, there was respect. In the early 1990s, Tupac and Diddy operated in the same hip-hop ecosystem. They weren't enemies. They attended the same events, shared industry connections, and moved in overlapping circles. The relationship fractured after Tupac was shot in a New York studio lobby in 1994. Tupac believed people connected to Bad Boy Records knew something was going to happen and failed to warn him. Diddy denied this, and no evidence ever proved otherwise. Still, perception mattered more than proof. From that moment on, Tupac internalized the situation as betrayal, and that belief shaped everything that followed. After signing with Death Row Records, Tupac leaned heavily into the East Coast versus West Coast narrative. Bad Boy became the symbol of what he felt had turned against him, and Diddy, as its most visible figure, became part of that symbolism. But symbolism is not evidence, and belief is not proof. Another detail that fueled public suspicion was Diddy later dating Faith Evans, Tupac's ex-wife and the widow of the notorious Big. To fans, it felt deeply personal and disrespectful. Emotionally, the optics were explosive. Legally, they meant nothing. Personal relationships, no matter how controversial, do not establish involvement in a criminal case. What the LAPD actually investigated? To understand why Diddy was never implicated, you have to look at where law enforcement focused its attention. The Tupac case centered on events that unfolded the night he was shot in Las Vegas. Earlier that evening, Tupac was involved in a physical altercation with Orlando Anderson, a known member of the Southside Compton Crips. This incident was documented through witness accounts and surveillance footage. Because of that altercation, investigators viewed the situation through the lens of gang-related retaliation, not music industry politics. Orlando Anderson was questioned and denied involvement. He was never charged. Years later, he died in an unrelated incident. Here's the key point: no physical evidence, no financial trail, no communications, and no credible witness testimony ever connected Diddy to the Tupac case. He was never listed as a suspect, never questioned as one, and never linked through investigative findings by the LAPD, Las Vegas authorities, or any federal agency. Without evidence that meets legal standards, prosecutors cannot move forward, no matter how loud public speculation becomes. Why rumors refuse to die? Unresolved cases create a vacuum, and culture rushes to fill it. Hip-hop rivalries were real. The tension was real. Tupac's lyrics openly named names and expressed anger. Over time, repeated speculation began to feel like fact, even when it wasn't supported by records or investigations. This is where many people blur a critical line. Public suspicion is not legal evidence. Being part of a rivalry doesn't prove coordination. Benefiting indirectly from events doesn't prove intent. Knowing people connected to a situation doesn't establish responsibility. Law enforcement requires motive supported by evidence, opportunity supported by proof, and intent that can be demonstrated in court. In the Tupac case, none of those standards ever pointed to Diddy in a way that could sustain charges. That doesn't mean every question has been answered. It means no question ever crossed the threshold required for prosecution. The lasting tragedy of the Tupac case isn't just the loss of an iconic artist. It's how years of speculation hardened into assumed truth, overshadowing what the official record actually says. When facts don't provide closure, myths step in. And over time, those myths can feel more powerful than reality. If this breakdown gave you a clearer, more grounded perspective on the Tupac case, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more deep, fact-based stories that separate rumor from reality.